How you hear me? Thank you. I'm sorry, but I don't know. But it's always I don't know. I don't know how it works.
No
Maybe.
problem. No
Okay.
problem. Um, so first and foremost, I would love for you to introduce yourself to my community, please.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Hello everyone, I am Federica Capitani. I'm 21 years old. I am a student, a university student at the Faculty of Sociology of Trento University. I'm writing of a journal of a university called L'Universitario. Also, I am an activist of a local movement on Friday for Future Sassuolo, where I am the sort of social media manager and we had responsible of communication between our movement and external guests.
Well, first and foremost, it's a pleasure to have you on. And I would love to deep dive into the climate of Italy and what is currently going on. If you can give us a glimpse, that would be really great.
Right movement. Which are the main topic which causes several debates in the public. The government is elected legitimately, but however, it was elected with the lowest rate of people who have a right to vote, eligible vote. We consider that only 64 said that nearly 64% of of Italian population going to vote. Well, of course, we have several issues, and this is the lowest rate in the history of Italy, and but of course also in Europe, because no one of the UE country has reached this point. But we have to consider that we you must vote on your residence area. You must vote on that area. In my case, in occasion of the national election, I was coming back on my home and stay for the weekend, but we have to consider the cost, because the travel between Trento and the province of Modena cost for me 14 euros of ticket train. But we have to consider that in University of nearly half of University of Italy are composed by students who come from the south of Italy. At the cost of all travels, and we consider all trains, airlines, the traveling of boat, or every possible public transportation. The cost is around between 150,000 euro and 400,000 euros, which is the cost for going back in your town. And this is quite a problem, because in Italy we don't have a explicit law for the distance vote. I mean the vote by Gmail or by. It is possible, but only on physical limitation, limitation, especially due to a particular disease. It's quite difficult. It's nearly impossible to vote, but in several occasions, not only for national election, but this accounts also for referendum and every kind of votation. So this is one of huge problem.
And would you say that there's a big economic issue as well within the social class? So what's your views on the social class?
Was also a militant, and no one of the person who embodies the institution condemns the act also on the symbolic way. The act was condemned by the principal of this high school on Florence, but he received later criticism from the Prime Minister of Education and Merit. This is the label. And moreover, during a school assembly, which they talks about legally, because it was arranged, talks about on legal drugs, so on marijuana, the police came into the school and identified the student. But we have to consider that the topic was agreement according to the school rules and standards. So this was also quite a big problem. But we have also to consider that in Italy we have a quite problem, because also talking of movement, we have both extreme right movement, and I took some names such as Forza Nuova, Casa Pound, and the other we have also extreme right movement, so left movement. I'm sorry, but so we have also that. And it's quite difficult too, but it's also the most recent one, and we have also to tackle. And of talking of university sites, there is a great discussion also in reduction by journal of the question of the suicides in the university, because in early 2 months we are already free. Well as cultural context. We have several discussions about on which are responsible of a university toward the well-being of students, or if the society itself has a responsibility towards the well-being of ourselves, so as citizens and on.
Thank you so much for referencing that, because today in the UK, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know as well, it's University Mental Health Day, and there's quite a few UK activists that are doing actions, and also one of the activists has got a petition. So it's really good to hear from an Italian point of view of the mental health kind of perspective and the struggles which have been faced in higher education. So what are the solutions that are being kind of considered by youth or individuals in Italy to kind of bring peace and sort out these issues from your perspective?
Sorry, could you repeat what kind of we talk about nearly 17 between 17 euros and 80 euros for each visit. This is the medium. This is the medium price for a visit. Also, mental care, medicine and mental care is quite expensive, but we have to consider. I have to start with this premises that in Italy there is a very regionalized system of a healthcare system. Which I mean that the regions, that the Council of Region, which could be Emilia-Romagna, the province of Trento, could improve with investing information of mental health, as well as inserting economic aid. But this depends most by region, but in general, talking on the general perspective, is still expensive going to a psychiatrist. Moreover, there is also certain stereotype of issues that if you're going to the psychologist, you have a serious problem, which could be also anxiety, and which could be anxiety or other mental health disorders. So I'm not very the best interrogator to speak about mental health issues, because this is really recently also, it's really a recent topic for me, or both on talking on professional field as well as informal field. So I'm not the best interlocutor to talk about these issues.
No problem. Then the question I would also ask as well is, how do you manage your mental health as a campaigner?
My mental health at the moment is quite stable. It's quite stable. Luckily, it's stable.
And do you have tips? Okay, we're back. In regards to climate change, what kind of tools?
Regarding on quote, and this also talking on data, Italy, it is the least country in Europe who makes improvement in terms of climate change. However, Italy, it is one of the only country who take account of everything, which means it take account. It's one of the least country in the EU who taking account on climate disaster, on climate movement. However, it is the only country, and I remember it is the last one who was implementing an institutional plan in case of climate disaster and climate change. However, reprising the intervention of experts in this field, both talking of natural science and also legal field. The data uh, yeah, no, we have this problem because and we also we have the last week was the day of a protest of Friday for Future movement, and one of the biggest claim is the fact that Italy government continue to invest on fossil fuels, and recently the current government tried to try new sources of gases, which they are found in Algeria, Tunisia, and the area of Maghreb as alternative resources of gases due to the war.
No problem. So thank you for that. And would you say, what would be your three demands for COP28?
Sorry, could you of in case of climate disaster. However, the data for this emergency plan come back from 2018, and we don't talk of recent data, neither on 2021. So this is a quite problem. This is one of the criticism arise. debate.
What's your wishes for COP28? What would you like the world leaders, and also are you going to take action for COP28? What's your plan?
I wish that more young people of my age are engaging in civic as well in political problems. I wish people would care of more of the current situation, and which it doesn't mean necessarily get into necessary a political party, but he also could do a civic or a cultural or organization. This is the problem, because one of the things that we face also in organizing activity in especially on Friday for Future Sassuolo is try to engaging people at the adolescents, so people between 14 and 19. This is a huge gap, because we have problem of attracting people in engaging activity and starting several collaborations. So we have also that problem.
Thank you. And I would love to ask, do you believe in world peace?
I believe in world in peace, but that doesn't mean the cancellation of conflicts due to the divergence of idea. But I believe in the fact that people could get together in in facing current challenges, such as we talked about before, of climate change, and I believe that, but also I believe that we have to stay together in order to maintain our democracy right, which is not a guarantee. Consider recently Freedom House has published its report, and she declared that this is the 70th years consecutive that the world assists a degradation of democracy, both as political regime, and also we talk of rights, human rights. So
thank you so much for your time, and thank you to everyone who's joined today's Instagram Live. And yes, it was our guest today, and you've been listening to the Claudes SEN Law National and International Campaign interview with our guests from Friday to Future. So thank you very much, and bye everyone.
Bye, and I also thank you for having this opportunity, and also for the patience of my several delay of this meeting due to academic.
No problem. You was amazing, and thank you for being a guest. It was a pleasure.
No problem. Bye.